Hey guys, Sean here, and today I am standing in front of this funeral home and I'm on my way home from work, and that's Camp Nou Stadium being rebuilt. And I pass this funeral home here a couple times a week on my way to and from work. And a couple of months ago, a woman came out of the gates of the park here and asked me for directions to the funeral home. And initially I was adamant there's not a funeral home here, you must be mistaken. And then I pulled out my phone and lo and behold, it's right there. And I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, I'd forgotten it was there. And it got me thinking, it seems like a pretty ordinary situation, but for some reason, and in that moment, it didn't feel just like an ordinary situation. And it almost felt like she was a character out of a fairy tale. Maybe it was the fact that she was standing by the gates of the park. I don't know. It was this invitation to reflect on my environment symbolically. And it got me thinking about how I go to work, I come back in a hurry, paying minimal attention to my environment, and there is this huge squat building, and it's death, it's mortality, it's all these paths that are just off the path that I'm always on, back and forth. It's just there off on the horizon. And it wasn't morbid, it just felt meaningful. And so every so often I will notice that building and think about it as what it represents, death and mortality. And we often think of Jung as this remote figure, and if you want to explore Jungian ideas that you need to find some expert, and I want to say that's not true. You can do that way. I had a really interesting conversation with a great coach by the name of Lawrence Barrett, and he talks about this idea of adopting I believe it was him who talked about the idea of adopting a symbolic attitude to life. So it's just being receptive to things in your environment as symbols of something else, and kind of waking up to the symbolism of your environment. And I want to invite you, the next time you're out for a walk in your environment, just kind of will it. Tell yourself that you are going to come across something that ordinarily would escape your perception, and see if something like this nondescript building, or see what leaps out at you, and then reflect on why did that particular thing catch your eye today? What does it represent? What symbolism might it have? And if you try it out, I'd love to hear, so you can always put it in the comments if you're brave, or send me a DM. Thanks for watching.